always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone. Stars cover the sky on a clear black night. A blood red moon casts an eerie red light. It's bright and full of fright to all damn souls. They walk the earth alone, full of pain and woe. The eternity that they chose, how to live as a ghost. Inside of caskets, bodies roast and decompose. Maggots feasting on a corpse whose soul is dead and gone. Buried forever with sins and hidden wrongs. Secrets locked away like the man that beat his wife. Fed up with this shit, one night she took his life. The king of his castle, a failure at his job. Break her fucking jaw, her head starts to throb. Blackened her eyes and he bruised up her skin. He beat away her sanity, her mind is in a loony bin. The night came, she got revenge while he slept. Blankets on his body, around the bed she crept. A needle and thread, she sewed him down, he could not move his hands or feet. Beat his head with a bat until his blood stained the fucking sheets. The cops show up and see him dead, arrest her right away. She goes to court, she's unbelieved and locked up to stay. She took an abuser's life at the price of her own, and now she's damned to rot in a cell all alone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
Her name was Amy Lane, she was kinda plain. No one ever noticed her and always called her lame. She was dissed on and pissed on and pushed to the brink. Felt like $1,000,000 just because of a wink. She was approached by a richy ass varsity fuck. She jumped at the chance thinking she was up on her luck. He asked her out to dinner, he took her in the park. No one around for a mile, he took her in the dark. She tells him no and yet still he begs, holding her down and forcibly opened her legs. He executed penetration before she could escape. Directly to the cops she went to report a rape. No one believed her, he couldn't, he's too popular. Their only defense, why would he want her? All charges are dropped and vigilantes make it worse. She showed up to school with a knife in her purse. Ran in the locker room, chased everybody out. Cut off his dick and watched it bleed out like a spout. Now she's tried to convict the 65 to life. Was it wrong, or were her wrongs right? We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone. A drunk fucking prick with a bad attitude on life. Can't handle stress and pressure, he takes it out on his wife. One night, big fight, things get out of control. He blacks out and wakes up with his hands around the throat. Car keys, car ride, anger up, pushed to the limit. Red rage, road rage, 30 over the speed limit. Car crash, accident, prick flees from the scene. Police get a call from a neighbor across the street. Car chase gives way, prick is trying to get home. But what's waiting for him is still unknown. Wife cleans up her face, swollen eyes, cuts and scrapes. She knows the prick is home by the sound of the car brakes. Bedside nightstand, top drawer, loaded gun. Prick comes out the door for his house on a dead run. Red rum, muzzle flash, loud brain, prick's dead. Cops arrive on the scene, he's got a bullet in his head. Guns drawn, drops the weapon, arrested on sight. That night, that fight was at the end of her life. Was she right? Was this something that was building up all along? Was she a victim or a murderer? Was she right or was she wrong?
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
There once was a kid, got straight A's, showed up to school every single day. He was a little overweight, but always teased, but only by the preppy guys, the chicks are always pleased. He fucked a cheerleader, so the richies broke his crown, hung him naked from a flagpole upside down. But he knew them all, so he planned his revenge. Pumped the first one severe acid through a rusty syringe. Kept his eyes as souvenirs in a mason jar. Cut the brake lines on another one's car. Followed that bitch so he could see the demise. The gas truck it hit was just a lucky surprise. The last one's at home, alone, asleep, climbing up the fire escape. In the window he creeps. Staple his lips shut, tie him down to the bed, peeling off his face, stain the pillows red. He got away clean, was it right? Or was it not justified? Will he see the light? We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone. 3 little kids chilling at a homie's house. One decides to have some fun, so he pulls a gun out. A bullet in the chamber, no safety on, spins it on his finger, pulls the trigger. A homie's gone, poor kid got shot. at point blank. Blood everywhere, a bullet in his chest, right flank. Rushed to the hospital and put on life support. Clinically dead and in a coma, trigger puller goes to court. What a sport, he pleads guilty, but his friend just died. His family at his side, they broke down and cried. One friend tried to cope, he wants revenge, he's in a rage. He goes to school the next day, packing a 12 gauge. Trigger puller's last days at school in his friend's sight. Buckshot, pellet spray, and take away more life. 3 more dead, tell me when's the killing gonna end? The enraged friend ain't seeing freedom again. Rage blind your sight when you try to make it right. But is revenge really worth the price of your life? Executed by the state, he'll inhalate poison gas. A panel of his peers shall watch his life pass. 6 lives gone cause an accident became a wrong. Was it destiny or was it just design all along?
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
Bad shit happens, wrong damning everybody you meet. Tragedy unfolds upon your family, like a couple who was married 20 years, shared all their fears, so many a tears, but secrets leer, ready to unfold. There was another dick, another man she holds, a slutty hoe, but her husband didn't know. To her it's all a joke, so she keeps getting poked on the daily. 1 dick turns to 3. Now she's a fucking hoe, banging everybody on the street. Her man's still blind, everything seemed fine till he came home early one day to find his wife in bed with 3 other men. His brother, neighbor, and his best friend. Lives are gonna end, people are gonna die. Rage overwhelms and he didn't even have to try. Next break in the heat of passion. From the 2nd floor window she's crashing, head smashing. From the impact her head's cracked, another dead hoe. Look, she's lying on her back. You ask me, that's where she belongs. But you tell me, who in this is wrong? We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone.
We always think that right is right, but what about when right is wrong?
Way to fix the mistake because the past is long gone. In life, we're all faced with choices.
We're all faced with
How
choices.
you react to that choice
How you
determines
react to
your
that
future
choice
and fate.
determines
So
your
make
future
sure
and
you
fate.
make that choice right.
So make sure you
or
make
make
that
it
choice
wrong.
right or make it wrong.